Thrill seekers have a new place to get their adrenaline fix in Canton. Berm Park is the brainchild of Seth Alvo, a widely known YouTube creator in the mountain biking world. The gist is it offers a specific, dedicated space for the two-wheeler fans. Everyone that doesn't want
2 years ago, this area was essentially an abandoned construction site. There were talks of it becoming a housing development and even a rock quarry. But thanks to conservationists, private companies, a very willing town, passionate trail builders, and most of all, members of this audience, Berm Park and Chestnut Mountain are now open to the public. Berm Park is just the first phase of a much larger project encompassing all of Chestnut Mountain. And by nestling Berm Park within a larger park, we were able to put all of our resources into trails and features, while the town of Canton took care of the parking lot, as well as trails in and out of the park. They also ensured that Grand Opening Day would be a celebration to remember. Thousands of you came out from every corner of the country and even abroad. And you came armed with money. Anyone selling anything at Grand Opening either ran out of it or came close. And I know of 2 food establishments in Canton that sold out of menu items by mid-afternoon. I've been trying to tell everyone this is how mountain bikers say thanks for having us. And that was just the scene on the first floor.
Holy crap, dude, you made it. I can't wait to show you this. I want to climb up together. I want to show you this.
I'm down. I won't even do it until I can go with you.
Climbing up to Berm Park, there was a healthy mix of mountain bikers and pedestrians looking to see what was up there.
My other bike broke.
Before even dropping into a trail, the flight deck is impressive. I got sticker shocked when I saw the invoice for the signs, but in person, they're pretty worth it. They make Berm Park more memorable, more impressive, and more fun. And I'll have you know, they weren't easy to hang. Because the signs are powder-coated, flexing them too much could crack the paint. And because they look sick, putting a dent or scratch in the surface would just break your heart. And so Elevated Trail Design needed all hands on deck to transport these signs safely and hang them without any mishaps. I might be a little biased when I say this trailhead is world class, and the trails themselves have just the mass appeal we were hoping for. That morning, Canton's mayor told me, "Those trails look like something out of Sonic the Hedgehog." He's not wrong. One of the things we wanted for Berm Park were bike park features that you don't see every day, at least outside of Green Hill Zone. Berm Park has several drops, an on-off bridge, an up box, 2 wall rides, and a cannon. This in addition to many bonus skinnies and rock features off to the side. For many visitors, these were new and exciting experiences, but no experience compared to the stress test we gave on the fly. We had about 17 million people on a train on the fly. April, then you, then me, and then everybody who wants to ride on the fly.
We have a posse.
They're so fun. Woo-hoo!
It was really cool to see Kyle and April at Berm Park, but it was even cooler to see Kyle manual the upbox on Clickbait.
luck, man.
Also really cool was seeing Owen ride Clickbait Trail. The little dude just stepped up to a full-sized bike, and now he's getting serious airtime.
I almost blew that one.
What amazed me about Grand Opening weekend was how many people were riding Berm Park's most advanced features. There's not a whole lot of this stuff here, so those riders came out in droves to get their taste of it. There were also a healthy amount of families and kids. In fact, I'd say over half the visitors were part of families arriving together. WLOS did a piece on Berm Park that night, and it ended with a shot of this guy, which is exactly what the general public imagines when they think of a bike park. And while bike parks are absolutely for him, they're also for them. And them. And while so many forward-thinking municipalities already know this, I'm so very happy we have another example to help prove their case. We have so much ground to cover on the topic of Berm Park. What did I learn from this? What was really happening behind the scenes? How has this affected the town of Canton? How can you use Berm Park as a case study to make the same thing happen in your town? Once the dust settles, we'll cover all of this in detail. Now we need to maintain it, study its effects on the town, the community. This is an ongoing story.
Just getting bombarded with positivity right now. All these people are having a blast. They're loving the trails, busting laps on Clickbait. This is everything we had hoped for.
Right now, I'm getting lots of emails from companies offering to help on the next project, whatever that is. And that's awesome. But these companies went in blind, not knowing if we would pull this off. Now they're looking pretty smart. My friend Dror sponsored an entire trail without any description of what we would build. The town of Canton went out on a limb and partnered with a crazy YouTuber. The Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy rescued this property from certain doom, and it was the first time they had ever partnered with mountain bikers. Elevated Trail Design was hired to build these trails, but they also spent countless hours working with the Conservancy on water management and juggling their schedule around the weather. They went above and beyond. And from where I sit, I owe the biggest thanks to all of you who donated to make Berm Park a reality. Even those of you who didn't or couldn't donate still gave me the influence to do this. And considering many of you will never see Berm Park in person, you have restored my faith in humanity. And if you couldn't make it out to Grand Opening, Berm Park will be right here waiting for you. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time.